If an employee is arranged to work during the statutory holidays, for example, National Day holidays, China New Year holidays, the compensation shall be at least 3 times of normal wage for the overtime work hours.
This is Complex Made Easy with Dezan Shira and Associates, in partnership with Laytons ETL.
Both full-time work and part-time work are governed by labor law and labor contract law. There are quite a few differences between these two schemes. Here are some typical differences. First, the standard daily work hour under the full-time work scheme is 8 hours, and under part-time work scheme, 4 hours. It is also notable that the accumulative work hours for part-time employees shall not be more than 24 hours per week. Second, wages under the full-time work scheme are normally calculated on a monthly basis and normally payable once a month. But wages under the part-time work scheme are calculated on an hourly basis and are normally paid every 15 days or every half a month. Third, an employer must enter into a labor contract in writing with full-time employees. But an employer may enter into an oral agreement with part-time employees. Fourth, different from the full-time work scheme, no probation period is allowed for the part-time work scheme. 5. When terminating a labor relationship with a full-time employee, in most cases it is common that the employer will have to pay compensation to the employee, particularly when it is an unfair dismissal. But when terminating a part-time employee, no compensation is required. 6. Under a full-time scheme, if an employee wishes to resign, he or she should provide 1 month notice to the employer in normal circumstances. Under a part-time scheme, if the employee wishes to resign, he or she can resign at any time.
The difference between part-time workers and full-time workers is actually relatively easy to explain. Part-time workers are paid holiday entitlements on a pro rata basis. Of course, they're paid less in terms of remuneration. The only real concern one has to be mindful of is the part-time workers regulations, which enforce the requirement that part-time workers should not be treated less favourably than full-time workers. So, for example, where you have a bonus scheme, that bonus scheme has to be provided or made available to both full-time and part-time workers. Having said that, obviously, if somebody's contributing less by working less hours, then as a part-time worker, your entitlement will be proportionally less than that of a full-time worker.
Before employing a foreigner in China, you should note that it is not unconditionally free to employ a foreigner for all posts. The job offered to foreign applicants should be out of special needs, such as lacking of capable or competitive native candidates. Foreign candidates shall obtain work permit first and then obtain residence permit before they can lawfully work in China. There are also conditions for foreign applicants. The applicant shall be at least 18 years old, having no criminal record, and having the professional skills or qualification necessary for the job. The level of the applicant's profession, expertise, and qualification will be reviewed by the relevant Chinese authorities and then classified into 3 tiers. Different tiers will lead to different approvals. For example, applicants with high-level qualifications and expertise may be recognized into Tier A, and then may be granted a longer validity of work permit and consequently more flexibility in the application procedure. Regarding the procedure, it is suggested that the foreigners do not enter China until they have passed the preview of the application and obtained the work permit notice. This is because some documents are required to be prepared from the applicant's home country, such as the proof of no criminal record and Z visa application. Therefore, it is wise for an employer in China to do a preliminary assessment on the candidate, plan the application process, and schedule the candidate's traveling before starting the application for work permit to save time and cost and make it efficient. We provide services to help foreign employees to obtain work and residence permit in China.
Employing overseas workers can be a little bit problematic in the UK now that we are in the post-Brexit world. European nationals used to be able to work without any difficulties in the UK. Now they need to have settled status and they need to have the right to work here. For all overseas nationals now, there are a number of concerns when they arrive in the UK and want to work here. One is they need the right to work, so they need to actually obtain a work permit. Employers can obtain sponsorship licenses for the purposes of sponsoring overseas workers into the UK, but they have to demonstrate that they cannot recruit locally a UK or English person to do the job before they can justify employing somebody from overseas. It's one of the areas that requires careful attention, careful consideration, because employing someone who hasn't got the right to work in the UK is a criminal offence and brings with it substantial penalties. Therefore, employers need to obtain passports and obtain work permits and retain copies of those on file in order to ensure that the employee, they know that the employee can legally work for them.
The UK and Ireland desk at Dezan Shira Associates assists British businesses with market entry, legal, finance and HR in Asia. For expert advice on employing people in China or UK investment into Asia, contact us at uk.ireland-shira.com. To stay up to date with the latest investment news into Asia, visit and subscribe to asiabriefing.com.